Hello viewers, welcome to this video lecture. In this video lecture, we will discuss classification of survey. Let's start. Classification of surveying broadly classify into two sections. The first one is primary classification and another one is secondary classification. Primary classification subdivided into two parts, plane surveying and geodetic surveying, while secondary classification are two parts, which is based on nature of field and based on instrument. In today's video lecture, we will discuss all these four types of classification in details. We will go with plane surveying first. So in plane surveying, this surveying can be done by state agency as well as private agencies. The area on which this surveying is conducted is small and it is less than 250 kilometer square. Because the area is small and the diameter of earth is big enough, the area is considered to be plane, and in which the spherical shape of earth is not considered. The second point, which is more important in plane surveying, is that the triangle formed in our area are plane triangles. So any triangles formed in given area will be plane, and the point on this area having a parallel line toward the center of earth. Let's explain this plane survey into a detailed version. So what we are doing, suppose this is the spherical surface of earth, but if I am cut this small portion, so it will view like a plane surface because the area of this particular is very small, so it is considered as a plane surface. So if I put 3 points to form a triangle, so first of all, this is our x-axis and this is our z-axis. So this things will be as a cross section of this land, and the topmost layer will be lithosphere, and after this lithosphere soil layer will be then rock layer. Okay, so this is the first. So this will form like a plane surface. Now if I draw this vertical plane figure into a horizontal plane x and y, for this I will consider again the same example of football field, which is just like this. So this football field having a small area, so this assumed to be a state. So for calculating the area of this football field, what we will do, we will convert this rectangular football field into number of triangles. So I will convert into this number of triangles with the help of chain or tape. Then I will find area of this triangle and similarly up to 6 triangles. So this is triangle A, B, C, and this is I have drawn in this figure. So the triangle ABC ABC. The point in, suppose these are point P1, P2, P3 and P4. These points are, if I draw a line in the z direction, if this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis, and what will your z-axis? Your z-axis will be like this. Okay, so when I draw a z-axis from P1, which will parallel to the P4, parallel to P2 and parallel to P3. So this is the main concept of plane surveying, where number of triangles are assumed to be plane and the points inside this triangle or the point inside the area having is parallel, having a parallel line towards the z-axis. ओके, इन सिंपल वर्ड, हमने अर्थ का एक छोटा सा शेप लिया है जो कि 250 किलोमीटर स्क्वायर से के एरिया से कम है। उस एरिया को कैलकुलेट करने के लिए यहाँ पे तो आपका जो फुटबॉल फील्ड है वो रेक्टेंगुलर है, आप उसकी लेंथ और ब्रेथ से एरिया निकाल सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर आपका सरफेस इरेगुलर बॉडीज हो, सपोज दिस इज योर इरेगुलर बॉडीज एंड यू हैव टू फाइंड द एरिया ऑफ दिस इरेगुलर बॉडीज, तो आप क्या करेंगे, इस इरेगुलर शेप को कन्वर्ट करेंगे नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स में। ठीक है, अब आपने ये नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स में इसको कन्वर्ट करना है और इसके बाद इन नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल जितने भी हैं यहाँ पे उन सबका क्या करना है, एरिया कैलकुलेट करना है और जितना हो सके आप उतने ट्रायंगल्स इसको बनाते जाएंगे। और ये जो ट्रायंगल्स होते हैं ये वेल कंडीशन ट्रायंगल्स होते हैं। जो ट्रायंगल्स आर वेल कंडीशन ट्रायंगल। ओके, अब ये वेल कंडीशन ट्रायंगल क्या होते हैं? वेल कंडीशन ट्रायंगल का मतलब ये होता है कि इसके जो सारे एंगल हैं वो 30 से लेस देन नहीं होंगे और ना ही 120 डिग्री से ज़्यादा होंगे। द एंगल ऑफ ऑल द ट्रायंगल, जितने भी आपने ट्रायंगल ड्रॉ किए हैं इनके जो एंगल्स हैं वो 30 से 120 के बीच होने चाहिए। तो हमने इरेगुलर बॉडीज को कन्वर्ट किया अपने नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स में और वो नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स आपके कैसे हैं, वेल कंडीशन ट्रायंगल है। तो ये आपका प्लेन सर्वेइंग का कंसेप्ट था। अब आपने जो एरिया निकाला है वो किसकी हेल्प से निकाला है? एरिया यहाँ पे जो हेल्प, ये जो लाइन आपने ड्रॉ करी है, ये लाइन आपने ड्रॉ करी है विद द हेल्प ऑफ चेन एंड टेप और एनी इंस्ट्रूमेंट। ठीक है, जब हम सेकेंडरी क्लासिफिकेशन में जाएंगे तब हम वहाँ पे पढ़ेंगे टाइप्स ऑफ इंस्ट्रूमेंट और उसके बेसिस पे सर्वेइंग का क्लासिफिकेशन। बट यहाँ पे हमने प्लेन सर्वेइंग का सिंपल सा कंसेप्ट आप लोगों को यहाँ पे समझना था कि प्लेन सर्वेइंग में हम छोटा सा एरिया लेते हैं और उस छोटे से एरिया को हम कंसिडर करते हैं एज ए प्लेन। ठीक है, उसमें हम जो स्फेरिकल शेप है अर्थ का जो शेप है उसको कंसिडर नहीं करते हैं। तो दिस इज द मेन कंसेप्ट ऑफ प्लेन सर्वे। नेक्स्ट इज अवर जियोडेटिक सर्वे। इन जियोडेटिक सर्वे प्लेन सर्वेइंग के अपोजिट होता है। इन दिस सर्वे वी कंसिडर स्फेरिकल सरफेस ऑफ अर्थ। दिस इज done by the Department of Countries, Surveying Department of Countries, and the area in this surveying is more than 250 kilometers square. In this type of surveying, the triangles are not assumed to be plane, it is assumed to be spherical with spherical angles. The triangle assumed to be as spherical angles and those triangles are in curve shape. Okay, and the line joining by the points inside these triangles are not parallel, वो भी क्या होते हैं, कर्व्ड होते हैं। ठीक है, तो इसको हम यहाँ पे कंसिडर करते हैं। नाउ सपोज दिस इज योर अर्थ, अब आप उसमें 250 किलोमीटर स्क्वायर से ऊपर का एरिया ले रहे हैं, तो आपने ये वाला एरिया लिया, तो इसमें ये जो कर्व पोर्शन है ये आपका कंसिडर किया जाएगा, जिसकी वजह से जो आपके, अगर मैं वर्टिकल प्लेन की बात करूं तो दिस इज एक्स एक्सिस, दिस इज जेड एक्सिस एंड दिस इज माइनस जेड एक्सिस। अब मैं आपको यहाँ पे एक चीज़ और क्लियर कर देता हूँ। पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन में आपकी हाइट काउंट की जाती है एंड द नेगेटिव जेड जेड डैश जो है वो नेगेटिव हाइट को शो करता है। नेगेटिव हाइट इज एज्यूम टू बी योर डेप्थ, और जो एक्स एक्सिस है इट इज इक्वल टू योर सी लेवल, जो आपका सी लेवल होता है, जिसको हम मेन सी लेवल भी बोलते हैं। बात करेंगे कभी भी तो हम हमेशा इस तरीके से बात करते हैं। तो ये वाले केस में अगर मैं ट्रायंगल फॉर्म करता हूँ तो इसमें जो ट्रायंगल होगा आपके कुछ इस तरीके से बनेगा, ठीक है। तो दिस इज योर ट्रायंगल ए बी एंड सी। अब दिस ए बी सी ट्रायंगल इज इन कर्व फॉर्म, okay, this triangle is in curved form. This triangle is formed like this, and this triangle is formed as curved surface, okay. So if I take points like P1, P2, P3 and P4, so the line while the line is not parallel to each other because these are little bit, the points are in curved surface, as the angles of these triangles are in spherical angles. So this is the difference between geodetic survey and plane survey. Okay, so these are the your class notes, and please note down the highlighted portions which is important for your note preparing. Now this is the first classification of surveying. Now we are moving to secondary classification of surveying, and the secondary classification of surveying is based on three things: field, object and instrument. Field, nature of field, object of surveying and instrument used for surveying purpose. So based on first, surveying based on nature of survey. In this we have 8 types of surveying, and these 8 types of surveying can be classified as its name. If you are understand the name of the survey, then you don't need to learn or to remember the definition of this particular survey. Okay, so in this classification, just focus on the name of the survey. If you understand the name, then you will able to answer the question of surveys. The first type of survey is topographical survey. Topographical surveys we are used to prepare map. In this map, we show our natural features as well as artificial features. Natural features like rivers, streams, hills, pond, lake, forest, agricultural land, etc. Wherein artificial features we show rail, roads, canals, bridges, dams, industrial area, buildings. These all are the artificial areas. The map which is used by these features is known as topo sheets. That's why this is known as topographical surveys. The second type of survey is hydrographic survey. Hydro means water. Any survey which is related to your water is known as hydrographic survey in simple word. So in hydrographic survey, what we are doing, we are determining mean sea level, water spread area, depth of water bodies, velocity of flows and streams, cross section area of flow, and etc. So we discuss one by one these terms because this is very important. So what I'm drawing one of the example of landscape in a vertical plane. For vertical plane, what we are doing? We are doing x-axis and z-axis. It's a simple. So at x-axis, what we have? We have our main sea level, and this is the land. Okay, so this is the form of mountain, and this is our water like sea. The pressure at this main sea level is atmospheric pressure 1 atm. Okay, so the diagram drawn in vertical plane is known as cross section. Okay, so this is the figure of sea. Now we move. So the top surface of sea is known as main sea level. As we are moving upward, like this is the hill station. Hill station can be, you can take an example of Simla, Ladakh. All are these are hill station which is kept on mountain. So these hill station have some height. So this height is always measured from main sea level. Okay, and this sea depth is equal to depth, and this depth is also measured from main sea level. So while we are talking about cross section of sea, there are two terms. What do you mean by height and what do you mean by depth? So depth is always in negative direction. Now we have another example of river depth. So how we'll draw river? So suppose this is a mountain, and again this is a mountain. So the graph is x-axis and z-axis. Again the figure is in vertical plane. Okay, and this is river. Again for atmospheric pressure I use this. So 1 atmospheric pressure occur at this river. So the diagram, in this diagram, what we are showing? We are showing the cross section of river. Okay, and depth is taken from the free surface of river. So this is cross section. The whole diagram is cross section, and depth is again is taken from the free surface of river. These are the two mountains. Now there is another term which is very important: water spread area. Okay, our diagram in horizontal plane. So for this purpose, first of all we will draw some dam. This dam is seen from top view, and it will cover by hills or mountain, and then this will convert into river. Okay, so water is flowing from this direction. Here is artificial lake or pond. This artificial lake or pond is occurred due to this dam construction, and from the bottom of dam there is a small supply of water moved to the natural river. Okay, so this is a topographic view of artificial features. In this, what we are observing? We are observing the area of the green portion in which water is spread due to construction of dam. Okay, so we are find the area which is covered by this green line. Okay, so this is called spreading of water due to construction of dam. This water spread area, we find water spread area due to construction of this particular dam. Flow. Now we will understand the velocity of flow in a stream. So how will you find this velocity of stream? The velocity of stream will be find if you know the depth of this cross section area. You will find the area of this particular. So you have area, okay, and discharge is your Q. Discharge is measured from the meter system, and this discharge formula will be area into velocity. A is already found out, Q is given by meter system. So divide velocity will be, if you divide Q with area, then you will find the velocity. This meter system is also applicable in your domestic purpose, while they will calculate your uses of water on daily basis, so that they will give you a proper metering system for billing of water. Second survey is astronomical survey. Astronomical survey is related to your astronomy, in which we are find absolute location. Absolute means we are try to real location of celestial bodies or space body with respect to Earth surface. Fourth survey is engineering survey. Engineering survey in which we find our sufficient data for our engineering project. This sufficient data use further in planning and designing phase. Next is archaeological survey, in which we gather information of archaeological site, which is more important for rallies of antiquity. Rallies means अवशेष जो कि पुरानी चीजों के अवशेष होते हैं उनको हम फाइंड आउट करते हैं फॉर आर्कियोलॉजिकल पर्पस. Next is photographic surveys. In photographic survey we collect our information with the help of photographs. If these photographs is done in air with the help of some moving objects or aeroplanes, balloons, or sometimes pigeons also, then that type of survey is known as aerial survey. Okay, so these are basically the same, only difference is this is done on earth surface and this is done in space with the help of aeroplanes, balloons, hot air balloons, or birds, with the help of birds like pigeon. The next survey is resonance survey. It is also known as Recce survey, in which we observed data physically and sometimes we measured with the help of chains and tapes, but those are not up to high extent for simple measurement. Next type of survey is based on type of instrument survey, and these instruments are in your unit versions. So when your unit will be covered, then these surveys are very important, and we will discuss this survey in detail. For this video lecture, we will just go through the name and just brief introduction. The first one is chain survey, in which we use chain for measuring distance. So these are the important points for note purposes. I make highlighted those small points. Please go through these points. Second is compass surveying, in which we use this compass. There are two types of compass: simple surveyor compass, and second one is prismatic compass. So this will again we will discuss deep when we cover this unit of compass surveying. Again, I highlight good points for your note making. Please go through those. Plane table survey, in which a table is used on which a paper is pasted and the table is moving from point to point, just point A to B, then B to C, and we go through this survey. Fourth one is theodolite survey, in which theodolite survey we deals angular measurements, and these angular measurements are vertical as well as horizontal. Tachometric surveying, in which we used transit theodolite, and the linear measurement is not done by the chain or tape. This linear measurement is done by the instrument only. So this is the tachometric survey. These are the different type of stadia. Next one is photographic survey, in which we used photographic, and this photographic has again two parts, which is first one which is taken on earth surface, the second one which is taken above the earth surface. So both these type of survey are known as photographical survey, and we will discuss again this when we are gone through the unit which is properly based for this portion. So at last, this is all about the type classification of survey. I hope you enjoy this video lecture. If you have any doubt and query, please free to ask, and just go through these points and these material which are highlighted for you. Thank you very much for your precious time.